Blackson and the Hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. So my phone is saying rotate back. So I guess I gotta rotate back. Hold on. Okay. So it's not gonna let me do record on the side. It's gonna have to do the long form. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? So as you guys know, been following the posts of this election, and it seems that yeah, Kamala Harris went on Univision last night. Trump's going to go on tonight, so we definitely want to check that out. Yeah, it seemed like even Barack Obama, he's playing the fiddle, Kamala Harris, and also Anna Conspira of the Young Turks, who, hold on, jeez. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know how much you guys have heard, but as I was saying, I've been following the whole post of this election. It seems like Barack Obama is playing the fiddle, saying, "Yeah, it's over for Kamala Harris," because the brothers ain't coming out. You know, that's what Barack Obama said. The brothers ain't coming out as part of the 30%. Yeah, y'all can hang that up. Michael, what's his name? Magic Johnson, Joy Reid, all y'all trying to shame black men into um, voting for Kamala Harris. What you need to be worrying about is Diddy spilling the beans on y'all being at that party. That's what y'all need to be worried about. Don't worry about black men. You know, don't worry about the 30% voting for Trump. Y'all worry about goddamn Diddy singing and telling that you were at them damn parties, that you were part of them parties. That's what y'all worry about. Don't worry about goddamn on the videotape, goddamn with the young boys and young girls. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about the 30%. Y'all worry about that. Y'all worried about getting caught up in them damn P Diddy tapes. Y'all worry about that. Anywho, yeah, I just want to let them people know. Don't worry about them. Y'all worry about the wrong thing. Y'all see, goddamn Steve Harvey done skip town. Not only did Steve Harvey skip town, Nathan Wade skip town too. So y'all worry about that. Okay, so hello everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, man. I just wanted to come on here, man. I'm feeling really um, because um, are definitely getting supplies. People in Appalachia, y'all know they're gonna have shit running again. What up, Andrew? What's going on, Andrew? What's going on, Andrew? I'm gonna have to call Andrew 1847 because that's when his family lineage came to America. 1847. Andrew, do you know who Marie Washington is? Oh, damn. How about now, Andrew? How's my thing now, Andrew? Keep that hot sun off your left arm. Okay. Hey, I can't control it, Andrew. I can't control it. But again, Andrew, do you know who Marie Ball Washington is? I don't know why this guy want to rush out here and there's like traffic going both ways and you don't have the right of way, my friend. Come on. Okay. So apparently Andrew's getting blinded. He's getting blinded by the oh yeah, getting blinded by the sunlight. Yeah, usually I try to wait, Andrew, before I go live, let the sun kind of set in. I usually wait till about 10 or 11, but I had to go on, man. I had to go on. I couldn't wait no longer. that damn coffee, man, had me damn. Ooh, I gotta go on. Let me go on now, And then, oh yeah, man, and then that sugar. So yeah, I'm a little hyped right now. I'm a little excited. Like I said, I'm looking at all the, not all the polls, but the legitimate polls. And Trump is taunting the Democratic Party, man. Let me tell y'all why he's taunting. Y'all do know Trump has a rally in California, and he has a rally in New York. Boy, if Trump ain't the biggest taunter, the biggest troll, like he's having a rally, he's to let you know, yo, not only am I winning, I'm gonna have a rally in California and New York. Y'all do know California and New York have the two largest electoral college in any single state in the U.S. And for Trump to campaign in California and New York is epic. It is really epic. And for those of y'all that have doubt at this point, it exuberates confidence. And again, you got Kamala Harris, yeah, trying to politicize the situation between her and Ron DeSantis. Now, y'all know, I believe I talked about that before with Ron DeSantis situation where, he's trying to deal with Florida with the hurricane, Milton that just passed, and also with Hurricane Helena that just passed. And so Ron DeSantis doesn't have time for the photo op and for the fake phone calls by Kamala Harris. He don't have time for that shit. And let me tell y'all another paradigm about that too, because y'all know um, you have Kamala Harris going on all these different medias trying to demonize Ron DeSantis. Part of the Diddy list is to be bought off. Oh yeah, yeah, be bought off. Yeah, they're going. They trying to protect that list, man. I think Barack Obama's on that list. I think Barack Obama's on that list. So yeah, they're going to. But Barack Obama gets presidential immunity, so it's really of a embarrassment. It's not even, oh, we're going to go after Barack Obama. It's more of Barack Obama being embarrassed by being at those Diddy parties. Just like with Bill Clinton, we're not going to go after Clinton for being on the Epstein Island, but Bill Clinton is more embarrassed by it. He's more embarrassed by being his name that we know, oh yeah, you were on that island, weren't you there, Bill? And he's more embarrassed by it. He's not worried about being prosecuted because we don't, we're not supposed to prosecute presidents. We're not supposed to prosecute presidents, so that's a situation right there um, will be just more of an embarrassment, like egg on your face embarrassment. That's all that is. So it's not that we see the Diddy list and like, oh, Barack Obama's on here. Oh, you're gonna lock him up. No, it's not that. It's like Barack Obama, Barry, you're at the Diddy party. You're at the Diddy party, Barry, Barry, Barry. You're at the Diddy party. You're at the Diddy party, Barry. It's more of an embarrassment thing. So it's nothing to worry about as far as any legal percussions. It's more of a embarrassment. Like you embarrassed that your name has come out on that list, and like what were you doing there? I mean, we know what P Diddy's about. You can see it on the look on Justin Bieber's face when P Diddy was asking him for his phone number. Like, you ain't called me. He's like, I might have changed it, but do you want my number again? So yeah, we just yeah. So anywho, um, the numbers for Trump are looking so good. Again, and y'all might be like, Black Son, what are you talking about? We're the internal polls. And yeah, it has been leaked out. Give it some time. Information is going to come out, but I got some preview information that yeah, the polls have leaked out for Milwaukee, the internal polls, and for Michigan. Now, y'all know Michigan and Milwaukee are part of the Blue Wall states. And also, the thing about Milwaukee and Michigan is that they're to the left of Pennsylvania. Let me say that again. Milwaukee, which shows Trump ahead, and Michigan, which is the most lit, well, next to Tim Walz state, Minnesota, the second most liberal state out of the Blue Wall is Michigan. Well, if they're saying Michigan is to the left of Pennsylvania, so where do you think Pennsylvania is going to go? Pennsylvania is more conservative than Michigan and Milwaukee. So if Milwaukee and Michigan are going left, which Trump only needs one of those states, he could either take Pennsylvania or Michigan or Milwaukee. Now, shout out to Scott Presler. Shout out to Scott Presler, y'all. Scott Presler has flipped just in Pennsylvania alone. He has flipped over 9 counties, blue counties, heavily blue counties in eastern Pennsylvania. Scott Presler, man, that man, Trump's going to give him some type of Medal of Honor. Watch what I tell you. Scott Presler has flipped 9 major counties, blue counties, and flipped them red. Yo, they're going to make a movie about Scott Presler. Watch what I tell you. They're going to make great things for Scott Presler. Great things for Scott Presler, y'all. Joker said part of Diddy's list is the being bought off. Andrew said, I had to run outside real quick. Andrew said, did you see that Dodge, Wisconsin sheriff lied at the rally next to Trump about there not being any drop boxes? No, I haven't seen that. But as far as like drop boxes and as far as sheriffs, like I made another video, Andrew. I support local police. I support your deputy sheriffs. I support your state troopers. You know, I support all of them. The federal government and FEMA, I don't support because the federal government and FEMA is a bunch of DEI hires. At least with the deputy sheriffs, you still got some good old boys, and I'm all for the good old boys being in law enforcement. So shout out to the good old boys. And when I say good old boys, I'm not saying that to be insulting. I'm saying that with the utmost respect, and I'm saying that with the utmost admiration. So when I say terms like hillbilly, good old boys, rednecks, I say it not to be disrespectful. I say it in a respectful way, meaning that I look at all the good attributes and I admire all those good attributes. Now I know, people, because rednecks and good old boys and hillbillies, they don't look at it as derogatory. Some people might use it as derogatory. I don't, because I see the good in what they do. So again, I seen on X-Men, it was a sheriff that was in the Appalachians, I mean South Carolina, and he said, "Yeah, that woman." I said, "Oh yeah, he's a good old boy." I said, "Oh shit, he's not only a hillbilly, he's a good old boy." I like that. So yeah, I support law enforcement like that. I support him. I support, I 100% support those guys. So if there's any sheriffs that misspoke or anything, or it might even be a timing thing, I'm just saying this, that I support them wholeheartedly because during this crisis, they're going to be the ones you depend on to get resources to the people. And I know I spoke on that before because I talked about how FEMA is saying, don't bring us no chainsaws. All we want is money. Okay, well, cool. Y'all do that operation. Local police, deputy sheriffs, we're going to give the chainsaws to y'all so y'all get to the people so that those roads can be cleared up. because the only way to clear up them roads is through the chainsaws. And I mentioned to you before, Andrew, that some of the best lumberjacks are from the Appalachian Mountains. And I say that is because during the Civil War, they didn't have chainsaws. They had those two-man saws and they had axes. And they had to use those two-man saws and axes during the Civil War to get artillery batteries up and down and maneuver them up and down in Appalachian Mountains in order to position them in Tennessee and Carolinas and Georgia and all that. They had to maneuver through the mountains, and so yeah, that's why I say yes, they are the most skilled in the country. Now, one can argue and say, well, Hannibal Barca, he maneuvered elephants through the mountains. So, so when I say in the world, then that could be more debatable. But in this country here, yeah, the most skilled uh, lumberjacks are the ones in the Appalachian Mountains, the hillbillies. So they still have that skill and mindset. And imagine they're using, it's within their DNA, them using the two-man saw to chop down trees and axes. So imagine what they can do with a chainsaw. That's why they're the best. So that's why I had said that. So Andrew says, guess you all forgot about those sheriffs pulling Republican poll watchers out of the 2020. Yeah, I guess I forgot about that. But again, um, so do we lump all the good sheriffs with the bad sheriffs? Do we do that, Sinsky, Andrew? Like, let me say this, Sinsky. Let me say this. Let me say this, Andrew. Andrew, your last name. What part of Europe does it come from? Watch this. Your last name. What part of Europe does it come from? So I'm gonna show you what you just did. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what you just did. I'm gonna show you what you just did, Andrew. What part of Europe is your last name from? Because what you don't want to do is lump all the sheriffs in all together. Because, like I said, um, one thing that we do have right now, and that we don't want, we have every police organization that has endorsed Donald Trump. We can't have a president. We can't have Kamala Harris because nobody endorsed her. No, but we definitely draw the line on crooked cops. My first name is Dieter. Okay, so what part of Europe is your ancestors from, Andrew? I think you're not understanding my question. I don't know why. That's that old Europe coming out. I ask you a question, you're not understanding my English. You're not understanding my English. You can understand me, but then sometimes you completely don't understand me. When I ask you about what part of Europe, I'm going somewhere with this. So no, I'm not saying crooked cops, because apparently, the police, the local police who I support, and the state police who I support, their brother in arms are the federal government. Now I said, man, fuck the federal government because you're letting these DEI motherfuckers run shit. Fuck them. So if they say, oh, we don't interfere with our operation, don't send anything but money, well then don't interfere with our operation when I say send to the local police. Okay. Okay, so Andrew said, no, you're trying to pull that Democrat curveball and I to street. No, all I'm saying is this: let's not label each other. That's all I'm saying. Let's not do that because you know the endorsement of all of these fraternities Trump is doing for a reason. So I'm not gonna put you on the spot, Andrew. I was just saying that that we don't label all sheriffs as bad. Now you got bad people in it, then fine. You got bad people in every category and every type of whatever. And I'm not trying to trap you up, bro. I'm not. That's not my intentions. If you've not been watching my videos, then you should know that by now. I don't never have ill intentions. Now, if you take it as ill intentions, then that means you haven't been on this page long enough to know that I'm not here to do gotcha moments. I'm just here to goddamn. So you've already learned the lesson, obviously, because you're like, oh, I'm getting defensive now. So you learned the lesson. So now don't do that. Don't do that. Don't goddamn uh, attack the sheriffs like that. Don't do that. The sheriffs are pro MAGA. The police are pro MAGA. You say you're pro MAGA, I'm pro MAGA, then that's what we are, and that's what we do. We don't damn divide amongst them, oh, well, they're cops and this and that. Yeah, we're MAGA today. Today, in this day forward, we're MAGA, okay? We have new enemies. And that's why I looked at this whole show with Anna Kasparin. I wanted to respond on that. She has come to her senses, her common sense. And, I was not a fan of Anna Kasparin, but she has been saying some common sense stuff. And so, yeah, when I'm like, okay, that's Anna Kasparin. Okay. So, yeah, that's all. Um, I'm not back the blue even when it happens to you. I'm not back the blue even when it happens to you. I don't understand what you mean by that. You imply that I may grouping all, which is 1%. I didn't. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, well, don't worry about it. Uh, Wassalam alaikum, brother. What's going on, Suhab? What's going on, Suhab, man? Wassalam alaikum, brother. It's funny that got a Muslim brother in here, man. I wanted to. There's another channel that I go to. It's called Black Metal Productions, man. And I'm seeing a lot of brothers from Islamic countries come in there. But I'm gonna save that for a whole nother show because I've noticed in a lot of Islamic countries, man, you're getting a lot of bands, black metal bands, come out of these countries. So yeah, that movement is growing. Like I said, I remember talking about it before about that movement growing in the Islamic countries. So I'm even seeing it even more prevalent. So um, I'm gonna have to do another show on that real soon because that music is having a very influence on those regions in the world. But number you know, six is yeah, man. Yeah. So what is this? Black cherry. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Black cherry. Okay, it got his windows tinted. Okay. So okay, 1844. That's a good amount. Okay. So okay. So shout out. Remember the father of our victim who got tackled by cops at school council meeting. I don't remember that, but trust me, we being around the same age, I've seen enough police, brutality and violence. I see all that, you know. But at the same time, I'm not a person to work my emotions. I'm Andrew. I'm military trained and all that, right? So that shit, you know, I know you probably because you deal with a lot of nigga channels. And because you deal with a lot of nigga channels, you deal with a lot of emotional Negroes. I'm not one of them people. Now, Andrew, I don't know how familiar you are with Malcolm X, and I was explaining this because I was watching the Math Hoffa show, and Math Hoffa had Kennedy on his show, and I say this because I'm seeing a lot of this with younger Negroes, and they have like a lot of Negroes on, but you know, Negroes are very emotional. You know, the only disadvantage that black men like myself have is that people don't know the difference between Negroes and black people. Black people and Negroes look alike, but we're not alike at all. You know, like Negroes, like I went in there and I typed in the thing, you know, I'm glad to see that, and I quote, I'm glad to see that they're, you know, because, you know, Math Hoffa is a battle rapper. He comes from that world of battle rap. And, you know, in battle rap, they talk about, you know, selling drugs. Ooh, I got the bleaky, shoot him in the face, you know, nigga shit. And Math Hoffa, because he's from the islands, he's from, I think he's from St. Thomas, he's from somewhere. He quite naturally gravitated towards people that look like him. Unfortunately, people that look like you, this is what black people are starting to understand, is that you got black people and you got niggas. Now niggas like to smoke weed. Niggas like to be emotional and shit, you know, always talk about racism, police brutality. You know, black men, we're different. You know, we're not sensitive to all, you know, oh my gosh, he said this. We're not, you know, we're not effeminized. What I'm seeing with a lot of Negroes is that there are a lot of, like when it comes to Trump, oh my God, like there's a guy named Mecca. Let me give you an example of a black person like myself, Andrew, and a Negro. Go to Matt, oh, I'm gonna have to do a copy and paste for you, but it's called, there's a guy named Math Hoffa. He has one of his panelists on there who's a real nigga. His name is Mecca. He's a feminized, like, if you look at him and look at me, we look alike, but we have different attitudes on things. You know, like black men like myself, we're tough. We're tough. You know what I'm saying? I train in the woods. I train with law enforcement, so that's why I don't get all emotional. But again, Andrew, because you be on YouTube, you run into a lot of nigga shits. I've noticed, like whoever this, you know, you run it, but I think in your 60 years, I don't think you understand what the difference between a black person and a Negro is. Am I right in saying that? Because a lot of people don't know. A lot of Negroes don't know, you know. And so, needless to say, I was in this comment section and I said, you know, I'm glad to see that the conversation has elevated from dope dealing and, oh, you know, oh, shoot him in the face and this, you know, nigga shit. And then a person, oh, you know, I guess the person just assumed that assumed that I was white. Talking about, oh, you don't understand our kind, you know, trying to be racist on the low. And I'm like, dude, you're kind just by you responding, you're the nigga kind, you know. So let's see what Andrew says. Let's see. Those cops should have immediately got a blanket party when arresting that father. Okay. Can you check out the shorts songs made every morning on YouTube by Bruce Nelson? I don't know who that is. Can you do a copy and paste? Can you do a copy and paste, Andrew? 'Cause I don't know why you keep asking me to do shit and don't do a copy and paste. I don't understand why you do that. So I would be glad to do that, Andrew, if you give me a copy and paste. Then I can know who this Bruce person is. The father was upset about his daughter and was being silenced at the public forum. I feel the police were wrong in the circumstances. Okay, well, you know, we don't live in a perfect world, Andrew. You know, um, I know there's instances where police, there are misconducts that the police do, and individuals. I do understand that. However, um, I was referring to the police up in the Appalachian Mountains with this emergency situation. So I was for that, but you know, I don't know what to tell you, Andrew. I don't know what to tell you. Andrew, how long have you been in the politics? How long in the politics, Andrew? How long have you been in the politics, Andrew? No, this dude compromising with disintegration of property is why America is gone to hell. Okay. You can't think without his blinders. I'm not understanding. Andrew, I don't know. You on a whole nother page, bro. Andrew, do you have a YouTube page? Because you be talking about certain things and I'd be like lost. You'd be like losing me. You'd be losing me. I'll be talking about one thing, you'll come in and blurt a whole nother thing, and I'm like, I'll just be lost. I don't know, Andrew. So it seems like you got a lot on your mind. I be having a lot on my mind, and it kind of I be going this way, and you come in and be going this way, and then I'm like, what's going on? What's going on there, Andrew? And so I can't even ask you a simple question like your name. Your name seems like it comes from like Eastern European. I'm assuming either Poland or somewhere. And I just wanted to know that information. And you think I'm trying to trap you up? And I'm like, damn, Andrew, maybe you need to stop going on all that nigga shit. Just concentrate on my page. Just concentrate on my page because you get distracted too easily. Andrew, you get 45 years, Holmes. I've been into politics. Okay, so you've been into politics for 45 years. Let's concentrate on the prize here. Let's stop worrying about these individuals and let's concentrate on the prize. I don't know about property, but the city council's members arbitrarily up and leaving every time the public ask about the missing funds spent. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Well, I'll have to see what you guys are talking about because I'm not clear on this situation. Because y'all know I'm concentrating on the Appalachian Mountains down here in Georgia. I don't know what part of the country you guys are talking about. Then he says Big Al has your name. Huh? Wait a minute. He says Andrew, Big Al has your same problems. Same problems. Can't think outside the box. No, 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 no. I think Andrew, you have a problem because you want to be changing the narrative all the time. It's like if we go in a certain direction, you want to derail that shit. And it's like concentrate on the topic at hand. So in the topic, I have triumph. Trump, triumph, in the topic. And you will bring in these other subjects. Why don't you write that shit down? Or maybe even cut your camera on and deal with those topics. I know nothing about those damn topics is what you're failing to realize. When you bring these topics up to Al, Big Al, he doesn't know what the fuck you're talking about. So we're not going to goddamn derail the conversation on something we don't know about. What part of that don't you get? But Andrew, what don't you get about that? And so when people don't understand what you're talking about, you're like, oh, you're in a box, this and that. And I'm saying, that's some ignorant shit. Don't do that, bro. Like, get in tune. Like you are so out of tune with like where people be going. It's like, dude, calm your ass down. Calm down. Sit back and just listen to the conversation. And if you don't know how to partake in the conversation, then just chill, bro. That's what you don't know how to do, bro. Learn how to just chill sometimes. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh gosh, what is going on with these people here? Oh gosh. So yeah, dude, you do that a lot. Like where does that come from, Andrew? Like where does that come from? Is it like what's going on? So you aren't shocking me about camper, schooling me about camper. Excuse me about camper. What are you talking about, camper? What are you talking about? I don't know what your camper, what are you talking about? Schooling you about camper. Snapping, telling me I can't chill. Yeah, I'm not going to chill because you're disrupting me is what you're doing. So no, I'm not going to chill when you're disrupting me. I'm going to goddamn I'm going to get excited and tell you to chill. Yeah, that's how that works, Andrew. That's how that works. Maybe if you read the text, right? Bro, I don't know nothing about the text. That's what I'm saying. I don't know nothing about it. When I do a show, Andrew, when I do a show, these are things and thoughts that have gone through my head. I've analyzed it, and then now I want to talk about it. You bring shit that I know nothing about, so I have no time. I have not researched it. I'm driving a truck, so I can't speak on it. I'm not going to stop my current thought on something that you bring is important. Why don't you do a video on it? That's what I'm saying. I know nothing about whatever you're talking about. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about it. Things that I bring up when I cut on the camera is because I've contemplated, I have thought about it, I looked at both sides on it, and I cut the camera on and be like, you know what, don't make sense to me. This is what I saw. So lately, what's been on my mind, Andrew, is the law enforcement, Trump endorsement, the whole Ron DeSantis thing, all evolving around this hurricane that has hit my area, okay? My area was affected by the hurricane. Therefore, I'm taking in everything that relates around the hurricane. The whole Ron DeSantis situation, which you're not talking about. The whole goddamn Kamala Harris trying to politicize it, which you're not talking about. How this affects the voting in Georgia, which you're not talking about, but that's okay because I'm talking about what's affecting me in my area and my thought process right now. I don't know about these cops and these city councils and shit because that's not affecting my immediate area. Therefore, it's not affecting my immediate thoughts. Therefore, I would have to go out of my way if I am interested. And that's what you fail to realize. Everybody's not interested in what Andrew's interested in. And if you're interested in it, Andrew, then cut on a goddamn camera and discuss it. Big Al's in Louisiana. I'm in Georgia. So we may not necessarily be interested in what you're talking about. It's no big deal. It's just not your area. So if I tell you to chill, it's because you're disrupting me just like you're disrupting Al, and that's why I'm saying chill. I'm in a position to tell you to chill because I'm talking about something that's affecting my area. The Appalachian Mountains, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina is my area. So there's many things in those areas that concern me. So police doing something in a whole nother state and city council, I can't, I hear what you're saying. Now, you might have an issue with the sheriffs in your area. I don't have a problem with the police in my area. I just don't. So I can't judge police based on what happens in New York or California or Colorado or any other place because I know the police in Georgia are on point. They just are. The sheriff's deputies are on point in Georgia. They're definitely on point in the Appalachian Mountains. So therefore, my struggle is not your struggle because you're in a whole different state. So I understand your frustration with the police and deputy sheriffs and all that, but I cannot relate to it because I'm here in Georgia. So you would have to deal with it accordingly. I can't cross state lines for you, Andrew. I can't judge police in other states and then bring that home in my state because the law enforcement that I've come across in Georgia are cool. They just are. And I trust them to do certain operations. When there's an emergency, I trust the police will get the necessary supplies to the people because they have common sense. The ones I run into have common sense. So I have not run into these police in these other areas, but I'm sure I will deal with them accordingly. Like, I can't judge the police that I ran into in California, blue state, with the ones here in Georgia, red state. I can't do that. So if the police did whatever they did, I'm assuming this is a blue state, whatever it is, they were not in Georgia, Andrew. That's why I asked where you're from, what background you have. That's important because, number one, you came here, your family lineage came here in 1843. There are certain creeds that Americans who have fought during the Civil War and here before the Civil War live by. One of those creeds, and I saw a sheriff the other day up in the Appalachian Man saying we take care of our own. That creed has been here longer than your family tree, obviously. So I cannot judge the police in your area. And I keep forgetting where you're from, Andrew. I keep forgetting where you're from. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So again, yeah, Andrew, you got to understand the different areas, man. The police here in Georgia are cool. Deputy sheriffs, especially the damn sheriffs, they're good. I haven't had no problem with them. No problem. No problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what police are like in the other places. I know how they are in California, but like New York, I haven't really ran into them. But these other places, you know, I don't know. So, but I can only go, like I said, each state is different. And, police act according to the states that they're from. They just do. When I went to Louisiana, the police had a different type of demeanor. You know what I mean? So law enforcement, again, is not the same. Just like everybody's not the same. Your city councils are not the same. Your mayors are not the same. They're not the same. Each state is different, and this is why I'm glad that Trump said leave it back to the states because every state is different. So, they like, oh, Trump wants to ban abortion. No, what are y'all scared of? Like, leave it up to the states. Oh, he's going to take away women's rights. No, what the fuck? So the state you live in, I guess you're in fear of them taking away your rights. And I'm not talking to you, Andrew, but I'm just saying, just in general, like, and that's why the conversation with Anna Kasparin had with this other lady. I don't know who this other lady was. The other lady kept talking about lesbianism, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, we get it. You married to another woman, we get it. But Anna Kasparin, you know, is talking a lot of common sense. So she's cleaning up the extreme views she had on the Young Turks because we know Jake Uger. We know Jake Uger's gone. But again, look at what the Young Turks have produced. They produce people like Jimmy Dore, who is common sense. And now Anna Kasparin, common sense. Jake Uger, he might sink on that shit by himself. I don't know. Jake Uger is he's cuckoo. He's an extremist. He's an extremist. You know, but I like Jake Uger. I like him, man. I have friends like Jake Uger who are on the left. You have some leftist tendencies there, Andrew. You got some leftist tendencies, I'm saying? You have some tendencies. And you might say, I have some leftist tendencies. But Anna Kasparian talked about disgruntled Democrats. She was breaking down the different levels of Trump supporters who were not your traditional conservatives. I'm not a traditional conservative. And it's funny because Anna Kasparian never talked. I don't think, I got to go back and watch the whole thing. But when we're talking about Project 2025, when we're talking about Project 2025, who has recently endorsed Kamala Harris right after Liz Cheney endorsement. Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, all these people they would fit in the mold of your Project 2025. Your 2025 are your extreme Christians, I would say. I wouldn't even say Christian nationalists, they're just extreme Christians. And so, you know, Trump is pulling in a lot of people from the left because he is a true centrist. He is a former Democrat. Trump is a former Democrat. So let me see what Andrew's saying, man. I grew up in Milwaukee, integrated. That's a big city in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a state north of Illinois. Okay, good deal. Um, Kelly's from Wisconsin too. She stays in Wisconsin. Tina, you notice how out of view the whole Tyrell Nickens lynching was kept. Okay, I don't know. Tinny, I mostly support police, but I knew about the situation in Loudoun City, where they didn't act accordingly. The situation with police need to be treated on a case by case basis. That's what I'm saying, Tina. Right, because um, I hear about all these cases with police brutality in different states, and what I'm saying is that, and I come from a city where the police beat down Rodney King. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the Rodney King beating? Like, yeah, but that shit was dealt with accordingly. We saw the Rodney King beating on tape. Congress was like, yo, and they fucking, every single one of those cops got prosecuted for that shit. So I know about police brutality. Like I said, I come from South Central LA. You know what I'm saying? I've had police in LA pull guns on me, automatic weapons and shit. But again, being that I had police pull weapons on me doesn't affect the way I treat police here in Georgia, because police here in Georgia are different. Like I said, I remember going to Louisiana. And let me tell you, police are just different. They're just different, man. I just know that they're different from state to state. So I can't, yeah, I can't put all police in one lump sum. So yeah, like I said, I'm not naive to the police brutalities and crooked cops and all that. Again, I come from, like I said, not only with the Rodney King beating, I come from the what's that, Lorenzo, the one who shot, who they said they had a shrine. They said who shot Biggie Smalls. He was LAPD. Like they say he was corrupt. So yeah, I know about damn corrupt police and gangs and all that. I know about all that shit, Andrew. And what I'm saying is that uh, I go by state basis. So if I was in another state, if I was in Milwaukee and the police were acting not accordingly, then yeah, I would call it out. But because I'm in Georgia and the Georgia police, now we had one situation. The most corrupt thing here in Georgia was a sheriff shot another sheriff. And it was funny because they were both running for high office. That it was the most corrupt thing that I heard about here in Georgia. A sheriff shooting another sheriff. They locked that sheriff up. The one sheriff got killed by the other sheriff. They locked that sheriff up. And after that, I didn't hear no more corruption. Now, right now, what I'm dealing with is Fani Willis. I'm dealing with that shit right now. I think that shit is corrupt. But guess where she's from? She's from Inglewood, California. So, I blame the DAs here? Like, there's a girl running against Fani Willis. Her name is Courtney Kramer. She's a good old Southern girl. I would rather see her be the DA than Fani Willis. Fani Willis has done some ill shit. I don't think all DAs are bad. But this shit going on with Fani Willis, with Jack Smith, with Letitia James is just outrageous. Just outrageous. So again, now I will say this, Andrew, like I said, fuck the federal government. The federal government is under the Biden administration. So as far as I'm concerned, fuck the federal government. Now, will I say that under Trump? Most likely not, because there's going to be a different administration. I just know this administration, as of right now, they're not handling the situation with the hurricane. FEMA's not handling the situation with the hurricane. So there you go. So yeah, so excuse me if I don't share the same sentiment of what's going on in Milwaukee with the police. I'm not there. So do we? What up, Jesse? Yeah, Jesse's in the house. What up, Jesse? Fanny the mammy. Oh, Jesse, you already know. Jesse, do you know they can't find Nathan Wade? Jesse, do you know that the same day P. Diddy got arrested, Steve Harvey caught out? What up, Jesse, man? What up, Jesse, man? Shout out to Jesse, man. Shout out to Jesse, man. Yeah, Jesse, man. It's man, Jesse, where do I start, brother? Where do I start? Now let me give you an example, Andrew. Jesse is in Colorado, but there's certain things that Jesse's doing that I can relate to. Now of course Jesse's a way better farmer than I am, but when attempting to grow a garden or grow any type of food, he's having a problem with squirrels. I can relate to that because squirrels are the same no matter where state you go in. No matter where you go to Milwaukee. If you can grow shit in Milwaukee, I don't know, but Colorado, obviously you can. Georgia, California, you're going to have problems with the squirrels. And so, yes, I can relate to that. Jesse be like, black son, I can keep the deer out, I can keep the rabbits out, but I can't keep these squirrels out. because squirrels are the same everywhere. You get that, Andrew? Yeah, I'm still in Colorado. I am in Colorado. Yeah, Jesse, I know you in Colorado. Now, Jesse, you're in Colorado, so I got to ask you this, guy. Now, Jesse, you are aware that Trump is not only going to campaign in California, but he's going to campaign in New York. I got to get your take on that, Jesse. You know what? Maybe I need to save that for a show. I'm going to do another show, and I'm going to invite you on the panel, Jesse, because that to me, that to me is the ultimate taunting. Like Trump is taunting at this point. When you're so far ahead, you can campaign in two deep blue states like California and New York. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Wade is partying with Hunter. Wade is partying with Hunter. Okay. Yeah, I've been growing my own food for 4 years, and yeah, them damn squirrels are always fucking with my shit. Yeah, Jesse. That's man. That's the $1 million question right there, Jesse. That's the $1 million question. How do you keep them goddamn squirrels off of your goddamn crop? You answer that question, Jesse, I guarantee you will become you will become a quadrillionaire if you can solve that problem right there, Jesse. Because every farmer around the country, if not around the world, is having that issue right there, Jesse. How do you keep them goddamn squirrels out of your goddamn crop? Because them squirrels are like Spider-Man. They fucking, and they can goddamn get through the fence. And you already know, Jesse, I'm preaching to the choir. Jesse, you want to become a quadrillionaire? Figure out how to keep them goddamn squirrels off your crop. And I promise you, Jesse, you will become one of the richest men in the United States. You will go down in history, Jesse. All you got to do is figure out how to keep them goddamn squirrels off your goddamn crop. I'm saying them goddamn squirrels off of your precious crop. I said goddamn. Excuse me, Jesse, man. I just get, I get emotional when I think about them damn squirrels fucking up people's crop, man. It just damn. Jesse, your goal in life is to figure out how to keep them damn squirrels off your crop. Because I'm like, damn, I'm looking at Jesse's garden. I'm like, oh, it's such a beautiful crop. And I'm like, oh, Lord. And then, he's like, I'm thinking, Jesse, how you take care of that? The rabbit. I'm thinking, rabbits and deer. You're like, oh, Blackson, I got that. I'm not even thinking about the damn squirrels. Deer and rabbits are easy. Deer and rabbits are easy. Get them damn squirrels, man. Jesse, and I know this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort, Jesse. But you're going to have to dig back into your ancestry. Hear me out, Jesse. Jesse, you still there? What up, Fox? What's going on? What's going on, Jesse? Oh, she with the word. Hey, how you doing? Birds, squirrels, rabbits, deer, fox, possums. None touch my garden. Oh shit! You gotta contact Jesse because Jesse's having issues with with them damn squirrels. He's having issues with them damn squirrels. And it's funny that you mentioned birds was because I was gonna tell Jesse, and he probably ain't got time to do all this shit, but you know Jesse comes from a lineage because he's quite naturally a farmer, but his lineage even goes back further. But see, Jesse ain't gonna have time to do all this. But Jesse, and I know you're gonna be like, but son, ain't gonna have time to do all that. But Jesse, you are going, or you should consider, but I know you don't have time for all that, but consider training a falcon. But see, the thing about the falcon is you got to, well, see, I don't know, Jesse, if you do it full time. If you do that full time, you need to train a falcon. But, you know, you're like, Black Son, I ain't got time to be training no falcon. But what the falcon will do, what was it, the falcon or the hawk? No, the falcon. Yeah, it's the falcon. I want to say hawks do it too, but you know, I think falcons are easier to train than hawks, man. Hawks, they're a little bit more wild, but falcons, you can train them. But falcons, they tend to, they make loud noises, and squirrels get the fuck on. Now, Jesse, if you can train a falcon, you got to train them, break them and all that. You got to break them, but you train that falcon, you will have no more squirrel problems. Now, let's see. Well, yeah, falcons are only about 20 dozens, $20 dozen. I'm not lost. No. There's people who train falcons and who have falcons, and they falcons do here in Georgia. Again, here in Georgia, I know some falcon owners, Andrew. That's why, again, I don't know how it is in Milwaukee, but there's a bunch of falcon owners. Why do you think a falcon is one of our birds? Like falcons and hawk are our mascots. There are plenty of falcon and hawk owners down here in Georgia, and they don't have no problem with squirrels. But the problem is to train them damn falcons and squirrels. And again, I don't know if Jesse has time for that, you know, then he's got to, you know, so that's a whole nother. But if he's doing farming full time and he wants to really solve his squirrel problem, then a falcon's a good investment. But again, I don't, but see, Jesse would have to, he would have to make time because, you know, you know, he's running for office too. So, you know, Jesse probably wouldn't have time for all that. So again, you know, Jesse's running for office, so he wouldn't have time to be training a hawk or a falcon. But yeah, a falcon would definitely alleviate that squirrel problem. But anywho, but no, to answer your question, Andrew, no, there are farmers who own falcons down here, but they do that full time. And because they do that full time, they have time to train. And then if there's children are in the farming, they train their children how to train those falcons. And yeah, because you know Georgia is a crop state, and so yeah, because Georgia is a crop state, how do you think our falcons and hawks got here? They were brought here. And a lot of those falcons and hawks that were here in Georgia come from a lineage that were trained, meaning, yeah, a lot of those hawks and falcons are wild, but they come from they come from a domesticated ancestry. Meaning all the hawks that you see flying around here in Georgia were once upon a time, their ancestors were domesticated when they were brought here to Georgia. And a lot of them, a lot of the farmers um, who had the time and money train those hawk and falcons, and you still see that to this day. But a lot of the hawks and falcons that are flying around in Georgia are descendants from the domestic. Now, correct me, I don't know, you know, I'm not sure about the hawks, but the falcons were domesticated and they were trained. So a lot of them were domesticated in the 1800s. But now they fly around, you know, they fly around wild. Just the deer here, the deer were brought in. The deer, originally Georgia didn't have deers. We didn't have deers and we didn't have falcons. Now I think we had hawks. I have to look up that history, but again, hawks are not as easy to train as falcons. Falcons, you can train them faster. And once you train them, they're loyal. Like they follow you everywhere, and um, whatever's around you, they will attack. Like they take it as like, you know, you feed that hawk, and that hawk becomes, like said, once you know, they're domesticated, they won't fly away from you. You know what I'm saying? And once you get them trained like that, anything in that vicinity, whether it be a rabbit, squirrel, whatever it is, a possum, they'll attack it. You know, and that's what they were domesticated. They were trained to do that. That's why I said here in Georgia, when you catch a hawk, they're not hard to domesticate because their ancestors were domesticated. Does that make sense to y'all? Fox, I know you know. You from Georgia, so you already know. You already know how it is here in Georgia with all these hawks and falcons. Because I know Fox be like, yeah, there are a lot of hawks and a lot of falcons, and there's a lot of deer here. Yeah, those animals were brought here. You know, like I said, I'm not sure about the hawks, but the falcons were brought here. The falcons were brought here, and it's funny because you know the hawks and the falcons they coexist. I don't never see them fighting each other because there's so much food here for them. So they don't really have to really attack each other. They kind of avoid each other from what I know. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fox, but a lot of times the Falcons and Hawks be in the same vicinity, but I don't never see them crossing each other's path because they don't have to. There's so many goddamn squirrels here. There's so many damn rabbits here. There's so many fucking small animals here that they don't have to fight each other for food. There's so much food here for them. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that, man. Y'all, thanks for the likes, y'all. Yeah, I'm just ranting this morning, man. Y'all, Trump 2024. Like I said, Trump is doing laps. He's doing victory laps. He's going to California and he's going to New York. He's going to California and New York just to taunt the Democrats, man. I love it. I love it. So yeah, man. Um, we agreed. So Trump bodyguard details need Falcons. Oh, well, yeah, you know, Falcons, Fox. Like I said, Falcons are more prone. The ones that were brought here were trained by the farmers to protect the crop. And so again, the Falcons, like I said, once you tame them, they will a lot of times they will zero in on smaller animals, like I said, rabbits and uh, squirrels and mice, of course, mice and all that. I can't tell you how many times I'll be driving and I'll see a hawk, not a falcon, but a hawk just fly next to the truck, and I'll just be driving. I'm like, damn. He'll just swoop down and grab like a rat, and he'll just kind of fly, show off the rat to me, and then he'll fly off. And it's like, I guess they were domesticated too at some point. But yeah, it's almost like they have an instinct to show us that, you know, look, I can catch this, I can catch that. It's almost like their genetic memory, man. I want to say that these animals also have genetic memory too, because again, I know the hawks here were domesticated. I'm saying the falcons were domesticated. I'm not. I got to do more research on the hawks. I believe the hawks are native to Georgia. The falcons aren't. The falcons were brought here from Spain. They were brought here from Spain, just like the bloodhounds were brought from England. You know, when we think about like these old Southern movies like Smokey and the Bandit, Dukes of Hazzard, all your Southern Turner flicks, you know, we think about the hound dogs. Those come from England. Like that whole in France, that come, we've adopted that just like the barbecue. Barbecue. Shout out to Dazzle. Shout out to all my damn people over in England. They'll let you know. No, barbecue comes from England. So yeah, shout out to them, man. But yeah, the hound dog definitely comes from England. That's definitely a English culture thing that started over in England. But anywho, yeah, the Falcons were brought over, I think, in Spain. I think Spain was I think it was Spain that brought them over. But yeah, the Falcons, they brought them over here to keep the crops to keep the crops from being eaten up by the squirrels and the little animals. And so, yeah. Um, but again, y'all support Jesse. Jesse is running for office, so again, I don't think Jesse's gonna have time to do all that. But Jesse, something to consider, man. Something to consider. Again, you probably have ancestry that, like I said, most likely if you're farming, then most likely because you got a green thumb, chances are somebody in your family tree that done train falcons. I wouldn't doubt it. Like I said, you're real natural at that. So shout out to Jesse and shout out to not only Jesse but shout out to Josh. Y'all look in y'all family tree. Y'all probably got somebody in y'all family who's trained falcons, more than likely. Especially here in the South, man. You've had people train falcons. A lot of people train falcons here in the South. So um, they don't talk about that when they talk about like the whole plantation and slavery, man. You had a lot of workers, or um, they didn't even show it in Django either, man. They showed him signing the checks and all. You had people doing that, but you had a lot of people trading falcons. That's part of African American history. Even hell, just indentured servant history. They don't talk about that, but you had a lot of the people training falcons because the falcons were the protector of the crops, like I said, the squirrels and all that. So, anywho, um, Jesse, Josh, y'all look into y'all family tree because y'all got green thumbs. Chances are y'all got somebody. Shake that family tree. You're going to have one or two falcon trainers fall out of your family tree. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. Got a green thumb. No, Jesse, that's what I'm saying. If you got a green thumb, chances are you got some family members that done train falcons. Somebody, because they go hand in hand. Having the green thumb and training falcons go hand in hand because that's how you protected the crops with trained falcons. So again, look in your family tree, Jesse. True, yes. Somebody in your family, shake your family tree. About three people gonna fall out, and they falcon trainers. You're gonna have three people in your family tree that were falcon trainers you don't even know. And see, this is the thing about black people. When we learn about slavery, we don't even know that part that a lot of us had falcon trainers in our family. So, you know, because a lot of black people, oh shit, okay, damn, left my damn bed open. Shit, been leaving my bed open a lot. Doing this a lot, man. All right, y'all, you see my comment on white-tailed deer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read it, Fox, because I know true or false, humans would not exist if not for cannibalism. Oh yeah, that's true, Andrew. Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know how true that is, but I can say this: every society has gone through cannibalism, especially your modernization period is why there's cannibalism. But that's a whole nother topic, Andrew. I've done that show before, and I would really have to get into how industrialization in many countries has caused cannibalism. Like our Great Depression caused cannibalism here in the U.S. and in the industrialization of when the settlers came over here. So we're talking about modern civilizations that have gone through a transition because of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia, of course, China, America. Yeah, every civilization has gone through that, but it wasn't no tribal shit. It was modern shit that caused the cannibalism. So uh, I'm gonna have to do another show on that, Andrew, because people, when they think about cannibalism, they think about tribes and people with bones through their nose, which, of course, that is. But I'm saying it would be more likely and prevalent if we go through like a major war, a major famine, like I said, a Great Depression. We're more likely to face cannibalism than somebody in the Amazon forest somewhere, some headhunter tribe. You know what I'm saying? So What I'm saying, yeah, the white glove society, that's right, Fox. What I'm saying is more likely to happen in a modern society, in industrial society. Like, if we were to go to war, there's no more food and shit because we have dependency. See, the more the tribes, they hunt animals. So we're more likely to eat other people because we're dependent on grocery stores. You know, we go to the grocery store, we have our damn cash or credit cards, we buy the food. This is our dependency. So if that's gone, we're like, oh shit, what do we do? So you're more susceptible to be accountable. And like I said, the Great Depression, uh, modern modern civilization. When the Pilgrims came over to America, modern civilization. So again, that's a more complex discussion because you have to understand the position that you put people in. So again, if you're more dependent, it's just like if you own a dog, you domesticate a dog and then that dog runs in the wild. Well, he can instinctively somewhat survive, but then he might run out, get hit by a car or a truck. It's just things that there's things in place that make a situation more prevalent. And again, the Great Depression, the Bolshevik Revolution, the revolution in China, these things made it more prevalent to have an environment for cannibalism as opposed to people in the Amazons, people in Africa who know how to live off the land or who are actually less likely to go through that. Now, like let me give you another example. Liberia. Liberia. Y'all know General Butt Naked. He comes from a modern society. All those generals in Liberia that went through the cannibal phase come from a modern civilization. So Liberia was westernized. Then they went into war. And so now you go into war, so you got places like the Congo, Liberia. These places were exposed to cannibalism because they were used to a industrialized modern society where they got their food from a grocery store. So Liberia is one of the most prominent examples of a modern society turning to cannibalism. So if you know your history on Liberia and their situation and General Butt Naked, you know General Butt Naked was as westernized as you can get. He was a Christian, westernized, and yeah, they went into war, and now you got cannibalism. But all those Liberians come from a modern society. They weren't jumping around with spears and all that, and hoo-yah, hoo-yah. They weren't doing all that. They come from a modern society. And they're most likely to go into, like I said, we're most likely to go into cannibalism than some tribe down in South America or Central America. We're more likely because they live off the land. We don't. We depend on modern grocery stores. So modern grocery stores go empty. We don't know what the hell we gonna do. Now we're put in a position like, what do we do? Whereas the damn tribes down in Central and South America, they hunt. They still got the bow and arrows. They eat the little birds and eat the deers and shit. So yeah, they're less likely to go into cannibalism than us. We're more likely. So if that makes sense, that should make sense. Like I said, my proof of what I'm saying, Liberia. Liberia proves my argument because Liberia is one of the most modern countries in Africa at the time, and so was the Congo, and so was what the Houthis and the what was that Rwanda, the Congo, and Liberia were all modern civilizations, and they all, when plunged into war, fell into cannibalism. So I hope that answers your question. When Japan attacked China, soldiers ate Chinese people. Yeah, that's true. Yep, that's right. But again, look at the situation. Yeah, both China and Japan were modern, but because they plunged into war, well, now war brings about famine. War brings about famine, and so when you got famine, that's a breeding ground for cannibalism. So yeah. So anywho, man, y'all, let me get back to work. All this cannibalism is making me hungry. All this talk about cannibalism is making me hungry, and I'm vegan. Shit. Oh shit. Thank you, baby. All this talk about cannibalism is making me hungry. I'm vegan. Hell, I'm vegan. Hell, I shouldn't be getting hungry talking about cannibalism and I'm vegan. What the hell? You see? See what that does? You never know what the human psyche. So yeah, let me get going, y'all, man. I'm sitting up here, man. Happy Friday to everybody. Y'all be safe. The sun is out. Um, recovery is happening in the Appalachians as we speak. So yeah, a lot of pissed off Trump supporters are going to show out all up and down the Appalachians. South Carolina, Georgia are going to turn out for Trump. Just for the simple fact, Kamala Harris tried to politicize this whole goddamn natural disaster. Oh, that pissed them off even more. That pissed them off even more. So with that being said, we out, y'all. Shout out to Dot. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Fox. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to She Who Walks in the Word. One. Shout out to Dirty Money. Dirty Money. Two. Hold on, y'all. Two. Shout out to everybody in chat. Anybody I missed, I do apologize. Y'all know I'm driving, so it's not like I'm at home. I can just scroll. But yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out to everybody, man. Jesse, again, look in your family tree. You shake your family tree. You got about 3 hawk owners or people who train hawks in your family. I can guarantee that, Jesse. I will put money on that. You got at least 3 people in your family tree that train hawks. Because, like I said, if you got a green thumb, and chances are, especially if you claim from the South, they train you to damn grow crops. They train you how to protect them crops, and the damn falcon was one of those animals that protected the crops. So chances are, yeah, somebody in your family tree done trained falcons. Hell, they might have trained hawks too. I don't know. I got to look into the. I don't know about the hawk thing, but definitely falcons. They train the falcons. The hawks, I'm not sure because they're a little bit more wild. But yeah, the falcons, yeah, those are all the falcons you see flying around here. Were all they come from domesticated animals because they domesticated all them hawks back in the 1800s. So with that being said, man, we out, y'all. Peace.